see you there. And welcome to another edition of Crenshaw Corner. I am, as always, Sanchez Crenshaw, joined by a 4-foot chocolatey, sexy woman.
What's going on, family? What is going on? I am Angela Crenshaw,
That's
and by the way, I am 5'2".
That's my wife, people.
Whatever.
And that's the fib that she tells people.
The doctor told me I was 5'2", babe.
Yeah, the doctor just wanted to make you feel good.
He didn't. Because every doctor I go to, no matter where I go, they tell me I'm 5'2", babe. You just hating on my height.
Because you go in telling them, by the way, doctor, I'm 5'2".
I do not.
And you do it real aggressively.
I do not.
So the doctor be like, you know what? She want to be 5'2", just let her be 5'2".
Oh, whatever, dude. What's going on, baby?
Not much, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Yeah, I can kind of tell. Hear it in your voice a little bit.
Yeah, I'm tired, but I was here.
But we're going to persevere.
Friday.
We is going to push through.
Yeah, we've had a Friday.
Yeah, it's been a Friday.
We've had a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah. This week has been a long month.
Yes. This week it's been a month.
This whole week been a long month. And we'll get into that, but of course, before we officially begin, I just want to take the time to thank you guys for listening to us.
Yes.
To the new members of the family, we welcome you. To the existing members of the family, welcome back. If you are new to us, we ask that you go back and take a listen to just take a listen to the category.
Yeah.
To the category?
Category or the catalog?
Catalog,
That's
baby.
What I
was trying to say.
Catalog, sweetie. Catalog.
Thank you very much. That's why I love you.
You welcome.
Because you're always there for me.
I don't know what that was.
Me neither.
Yes.
So we're going to go back, take a listen to the catalog.
I felt like I wanted to be like a Baptist church, like, we welcome you.
We welcome you.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We welcome you for who you are.
Who you are.
And you are good.
You are good.
Welcome, guys.
All right. So we consider
have to
ourselves
make up our own theme song, maybe.
Maybe we may do that.
You know, like when we come on and after you do the housewarming, if I ever let you get through it.
You never do.
And then we sing our theme song.
Maybe down the line.
Yes, let's make up a theme song.
Maybe
all
down
right,
the
go
line.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
We consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
We are.
What that means is that we're on the socials. We're on
Kill
Twitter.
Me with that, but
We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. All in the Crenshaw Corner.
Crenshaw Corner.
And then there is an email address that you can contact us at, which is thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
No, say it again because you're not saying it right.
Thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
No, I gotta say like you, maybe because you're tired.
I am.
Because normally the is like the Crenshaw. You know, like it's cool.
Yeah, I'm extreme. That the is about the best the you're going to get.
Okay, do it again. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Thank you.
All right. So, babe.
What's up? What's going on?
I got a question for you.
Okay, I'm hoping I can answer it at the speed of lightness.
Well, we're going to see
lightness.
Speed of lightness. We're going to go with that right now. We're going to go with that right now.
Go ahead, go for it. Happy Friday.
All right, happy Friday. So, of course, I need to set this up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got to let me unpack it just a little bit before you jump in.
Boys, you just be unpacking.
I'm just saying.
I ain't got all day.
All right, so here we go. Anyone that knows you, anyone that's kind of learning you, they know in certain ways you can be considered maybe a little controlling. Just a little, tad bit. Planner,
are you
if you will.
What?
A planner.
Planner. Oh,
Planner,
like, come on, somebody, because you said I had leaned in after you said controlling.
I know you had leaned in.
But once you did plan, I kind of felt relaxed.
Your shoulders got a little
loose.
loose.
Because I'm a planner.
Yeah.
I got a happy planner with stickers and everything.
And you have 14 different happy
planners.
planners.
I have different happy planners.
Yeah.
Small, big,
big. Desk size, pocket size. You got calendars everywhere. You got spreadsheets everywhere. You got notebooks everywhere.
I do need to give up the whole notebook situation. I got journals all over the place.
It works for you.
It works for me. It works for me.
You have a plan for the plan.
Yes.
So you will devise a plan to work that plan, to work another plan. And then make a plan how you going to work all the plans.
If all the plans don't work, I got another plan for the plans that didn't work.
Now, for anyone that kind of knows me, anyone that's learning me, I'm not really a planner.
No.
Yeah, I'm more of a kind of a, we just going to kind of see what happens.
Going to see what the end going to be.
We going to see what the end going to be.
Okay.
So, with that being understood, with those baselines, consider understanding you are a planner. I'm necessarily a not. So, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So, when you sat down and you devised a plan, you strategized,
Yeah.
You've worked out every feasible possibility.
Yes.
You've worked out every plan of attack. You've worked out all victories, all losses. You've worked everything out to the bare minimum, to the minute detail.
To the pinty.
To the pinty. To the pinty.
To the pinty.
So here's my question.
Uh-huh.
What do you do when it all goes to hell? When the outcome you plan for is actually not the outcome that you get? What do you do? How do you handle that? Because for someone who is so used to things working the way they want them to, they're used to sitting down planning, they work out every possible scenario. I mean, they do it all like I said, to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And they're ready, they're prepared. But then once you go into that battle, that outcome is so not what you thought it was going to be. You didn't even devise this outcome. Yeah. Never even thought of this outcome.
I didn't know this outcome could be a possibility.
Didn't know it was a possibility.
Is that what you're saying? Okay, I got you.
How do you handle that and what do you do? So when you get that proverbial curveball thrown at you, how do you hit it?
First of all, normally what happens is, to be honest, guys, the umpire catches it. I ain't going to lie to y'all. It's a strike on that one? It's a strike.
It's a strike on that first
My
curveball?
first instinct is a straight up strike.
We're going to go ahead and let that one go through?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let that go through, bro. Just gonna strike. The umpire behind me. I'm rolling my eyes and I'm like, bruh. You know, when that curveball come.
Right.
But after that, then I get myself together at the mat. And I breathe and I hold the bat really, really tight. And I get ready.
You get ready?
I get ready. Okay. I get ready. And once I know that the unexpected is coming at me.
Right.
After that first time, I expect the unexpected. And then at that point, I know that sounds weird, but then I know to expect the unexpected for whatever situation that I'm in.
Right.
And then I take a breath because I'm such a planner and per se controlling person. So I got to stop and breathe. Okay. Because if I don't, I can feel myself legitimately, no lie, maybe catching an anxiety or a panic attack.
Right.
Because I can't control the outcome or what's going on at the time that it's going on for what I thought it was going to be. Does that make sense?
No, it does. But...
So I have to first get at that mat, hit that bat on that mat, and I got to stay in there and I got to breathe. Okay. You know.
Okay. Sounded cute. That was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
But
it wasn't beautiful. It's my truth. You asked my truth.
No, I'm saying your truth is beautiful.
Yeah.
Your truth was touching. Your truth moved me.
I don't feel like you've been moved because you got something else for me. No, feeling my spirit.
I'm just saying. I had the single tear like Denzel from Glory coming.
You know what? You make me so sick.
It was beautiful.
Babe, go ahead.
But that's cute when you're dealing with, okay, you made a plan for a job, or you made a plan for finances, or you made a plan for a trip, or you made a plan to start a business. That's all cute. But what happens when you actually plan for something that's actually near and dear to you, like a family member, like a relationship? You've planned for this thing. Full disclosure. So, we've talked about it before.
Yes, we have.
But we told family that we are expecting grandparents.
Yes.
Where we're no longer expecting grandparents.
We are officially
grandparents.
DM is here.
Our wonderful grandson was brought into this world this week.
Didn't even know I could love it like that.
Didn't even know that.
When I say love it, not it, like him, it. I'm talking about love it, like love it, like love is what I'm talking about.
Didn't know it was possible to love somebody that I haven't met yet.
Or love it.
Yes,
like
and I'll explain that statement in a moment.
Yeah.
So we got the word that our beautiful, wonderful grandson came into this world early last Sunday morning. Mother's fine. Our son is fine. Of course he's fine. He didn't have the baby, but you understand what I'm saying. And then soon after we got the news that our wonderful grandson has been brought into the world,
the curveball came.
And following right behind that, we got the news, okay, but there's something wrong.
Yeah.
He's not breathing properly. He's not getting enough oxygen. There's an issue with his respiratory system.
Right.
So we got that news, and then from there it went into, okay, it's a little more complicated than we thought.
Right.
Because it was a situation where the mother, her water broke, but it was about 24 hours from the time the water broke to the time that he entered this world. And it was supposed to be, once again, the plan was, it was supposed to be a natural birth.
Water birth
at a birthing center. naturally, no epidural, just natural, beautiful. The way
beautiful.
God,
The room was gorgeous.
the room was
like
gorgeous.
A bedroom.
It was a bedroom type setting.
Yeah.
It was a swimming pool. My son was gonna be in there with
had
her.
Had his red, white, and blue swim
trunks ready to go.
He ready.
But then our grandson didn't turn properly, and no matter what they did, they could not get him to turn properly. So the plan of a natural childbirth in a birthing center went from, okay, now you're being rushed to the hospital because now we're going to have to do a C-section. And that's how we end up coming into the world.
Yeah.
Which, it's okay, but it wasn't the plan.
It wasn't the plan. The plan was he would be born naturally in the water in the beautiful area. And this is, let me tell you, the plan had already changed way before that, to be honest, because Rona came. So when Rona came, we could no longer go to the doctor visits
because it was supposed to be that both sides of the family, we were going to be there. We were going to be there with them.
Yeah.
We were going to be there when he first hits the world, and we'd be able to see him and experience him as soon as he touched down on this world. And then it went from no Rona's here, so no one can be in the building with them but the parents, but the actual mother and father.
No, it even changed from that. It went from no one can be in the building but the parents. However, we could be outside in the parking lot. Then it went from sorry, you can't be outside in the parking lot.
You can't even be in the parking lot.
You can't even be in the parking lot.
Yeah, you can't even be within 100 yards of the facility.
You're going to wait for a video.
Yeah.
So it had already started changing because we was, with natural birth, the way that they said it, you have the baby. I mean, we have 4, but she's going to have the baby. She'd be home in 6 hours. And he would be home with her, and then they would spend a week at home, and then we already got a crib at our house. They got a crib. Actually, he got 4 cribs, to be honest.
All the grandparents.
Grandparents got a crib. And he got a crib here in his book and his Lion King sheets, and we ready for him, like stroller, little snuggie for Grandpop to carry him.
Yeah, we got everything. Like this is our kid.
We got 2 strollers, one for Pop, one for me, because Pop's taller. So we was just ready
because that was the plan.
That was the plan because we was gonna see him in a week.
Yeah, in a week. It
was a week. Tops.
So now it goes to okay. So now we're no longer at the birthing center. Now no one can be there but the mother and the father.
First baby.
For first baby. So now they're by themselves. So now we go from okay, we do that. He's here.
Yeah.
And it goes to but there's something wrong. So now it goes from he's having a respiratory issue to he actually has a heart defect.
Yeah. And then it goes from there till he has heart surgery.
To now we go from okay, there's a breathing issue to no, now we actually have to go in and do
heart surgery. And he's 5 days old.
So at this point, actually the first procedure was done, he was less than a day old.
Yeah, he was less than a day old.
Because there was 2 procedures that had to be done.
Yeah.
The first one was to go in and just kind of help him with his breathing, open up his chest a little bit and help him with his breathing. I'm not going to go in. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to go into
We're not going to go into all the details, and we're just telling you just a little snippet. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to do that, and so that first procedure was done within 24 hours of him.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
He was less than a day old at that time.
And then today.
And then today, and
7
then
o'clock
Friday,
this morning.
7 o'clock
Friday.
this morning.
7 o'clock this morning.
So he's not even on his 5th day on this earth.
Yeah.
So now he has to have open heart surgery.
Open heart surgery. So when you ask me what do you do, I still keep the same. I think what we did was the whole family took a breath. It was like, okay, well, this is not how we're playing. And we all, once we took that breath, and that curveball was thrown, and the umpire got the ball and called the shot at that point.
Strike
one. All right. The play that we thought, we had to play a whole different game.
Yeah, we had to readjust the offense.
We had to readjust everything because at that point, we had to go, okay, what's next? Everything that we thought would be for us didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, because at this time, once again, guys, like we said, from the first moment that we were informed that we were going to be grandparents.
Oh, we've been planning.
A plan was put into effect.
Heck yeah!
At that moment. Our son and his fiance, they put a plan into effect. All the grandparents start putting a plan into effect. The family came together, and we had these plans.
Yeah.
And the only plan that has actually come to fruition that we set into place is that he was born.
That he was born.
That's it.
Thank you, God.
Every other plan that we had decided on and that we had put in place, those plans have crumbled.
So I think that you asked me this question, I understand why we're talking about it, because what do you guys do when you think it's supposed to go a certain way and it doesn't go the way you think it's supposed to do? We had to go so far out the box. We had to go so far out the box. The first procedure that he did, we could not be there.
We couldn't even be because
we couldn't even be on in front of the hospital.
Because once again, with Corona and how everything is going on, unless you're actually a patient, or in a situation of a birth, unless you're actually the biological parents of that child,
you can't.
There is no visiting. There is no family coming. There is no in and out the hospital.
Nothing.
So, and that's why I made the statement before. How is it possible to love somebody that you haven't even met yet?
Yeah, just
because
love.
In his 5th day on this earth, as his grandparents, we've only seen him via photos and videos.
Yes.
We have not actually physically laid eyes on him. We haven't touched him. We haven't hugged him. We haven't done anything. And the closest that we can get to him is the parking deck of the hospital. And
that's when I say, when you guys, when you are thrown a curveball, change your game plan.
Yeah.
Change the game. Don't get caught up. It didn't go the way you want to go. All right, so what's the solution? And I think because we're solution people, that's what happened for us. And I think we decided, okay, fine. So me and Sanchez and my amazing sister-in-law Mel, we was like, okay, fine. We just went to the parking deck next to the building, and went to the top floor, to the rooftop of it.
And we went old school,
and we began to pray.
And we had a prayer visual.
While he was having surgery. And we prayed, and we called every person, every prayer warrior we knew, and they prayed, and we played worship music, and we waited till that was over, because at that time, that was a new game plan.
Yeah.
So, that was a new game plan.
Yeah, it's not. At that time, we had 2 choices.
Yeah.
We could crumble.
Yeah.
Or we could put together a new game plan.
Yeah.
And we chose. And when I say that, it sounds a lot simpler than it is. Mm-hmm. So much easier said than done. Because a lot of the times when you have to make those adjustments, you're making those adjustments on the fly. And
fly ball.
Yeah, I'm going to use an analogy. And when I do this, I am not being disrespectful to anyone that is in the military, been at actual war. So when I say this, please hear my heart. But a lot of the times when that curve comes, you find yourself having to make adjustments when the bullets are flying. Because you don't have time to stop. You don't have time to stop. You don't have time to think.
No.
Because you got bullets and you got situations and you got problems whizzing at your head.
Yeah.
And you don't have time to stop, think, regroup, pull out a map.
No.
You don't have time for any of that.
No.
You just have to make decisions.
And make them immediately. And I think the entire family, we made a decision. We made a decision. The people we love made a decision. Prayer warriors made a decision. People were stopping what they was doing, was like, okay, we're going to stop right now. It was a decision that was made. And that's what I think, that I guess why you asked the question is making a decision. You don't have the time. Like right now, what we're going through, this is the curveball.
Yeah, this is
the curveball.
This is multiple
curveballs.
And I want to say something real quick. I have never been more proud of my son than I have been in these last 5 days. He's an amazing young man, phenomenal young man. All of my children are. I've been blessed with some amazing children. I've been blessed with some amazing men and an amazing young lady to watch grow up, to help raise, to help rear, to help them get to where they are today.
Yeah.
But I saw a shift and a switch in my son over these last 5 days.
Yeah.
Where I saw him go from, and when I say this, I'm not being disrespectful from him, but I saw him from going up to a little boy to a grown behind man. And not a little boy in his mentality, but a little boy in my eyes, because he's my youngest son. He is, to me, and I look at all my kids this way sometimes, even though they're all old as dirt, but that's my baby.
Right.
You know, that's my little dude.
Right.
And in my eyes, he went from a little dude to a grown behind man. the way he's taking care of his fiance, taking care of his child, taking care of the business, because he hasn't had time to stop.
And what do you do when your dream, when your gifting, when your business, when in your purpose is your baby?
Yeah.
And your baby has to grow up quickly in the midst of what's going on.
Because
you have to shift.
Oh, you have to, because right now, and we're talking literally about our grandchild,
right?
An actual baby. But however, like you just beautifully said it, you can substitute anything for our grandson at this point for yourself, whether, like you said, whether it's your business, whether it's your creativity, whether it's something that you've been longing to do, or something you've wanted to do,
your children, your marriage,
an opportunity that you were waiting for, a career that you were waiting for. Because you got to understand, a lot of people right now, they had just got that job that they've been trying to get right before this whole corona thing happened, or that situation, or that small business that just opened and was thriving, and then corona hits.
Yeah.
And now they've been thrown this huge curveball.
And the umpire says strike.
And he says strike.
And so now you got to breathe. So now you got to improvise. Now you got to think out of the box.
Yes.
Now what you thought was going to happen just going to happen a different way. Doesn't mean, I think the greatest thing you said is, out of everything that we knew for sure God was going to do, is he was going to be born. That was evident, but we thought we knew how. We thought we had control on how it was going to look and what it was going to look like, and God said no. And that's the same thing I think with dreams and desires and careers. What do you do when actually right then and there in the moment, because we had to make decisions in the moment, on the fly, do you cower when he say strike and get upset and shoulder shrug, or do you
start arguing with the umpire?
Right, do you start arguing, or do you take that bat, hold it tighter, hit that bat on the mat on your foot, shake the dust off, and go, you know what? I'm gonna have to do this another way.
I'm sorry, side note, I just love the fact that you're truly trying to hold on to the sports analogy.
Because you know what? I thought about it, and I can visualize it.
Yeah.
You know, I can literally visualize it now.
And understanding, because I know, because there's some people listening to us right now, there's some family members who God told them it's time to open a business. God told them it's time to step out and do their business, and they did it right before Corona. Or they did it, maybe at the end of last quarter, at the end of last year, they did it, and now they're experiencing this. And now the question is, but God, you told me. Mm-hmm. But see, I think what happens is with those curveballs sometimes, God told you that it was, he just didn't tell you how it was going to look like.
Or how it was, what was going to be thrown at you.
Or what was going to be thrown at you in the midst of it.
Yeah.
Because then I think what happens is, because it's, what's that old saying? If you ever want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. Yeah. I think that's how that goes.
That goes that way.
Yeah, and we do that. And so we sit down and we devise this plan. And there's nothing wrong with planning. There's nothing wrong with strategizing. So I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. But we sit down, we make these plans. And God said, nah, I don't want to do it that way, though. You're still going to get the same outcome, but the way you get there is going to be so different.
And it's going to stretch you, because I think that there was some stretching, there was some creativity, there was some like, nah, no matter, nothing but nothing in this world was going to keep us from being on the ground wherever our grandson was born.
We just spent almost 6 hours.
Yes.
6 hours in a parking deck.
From 7 a.m.
From 7 a.m. to about, I think it was about 1-ish.
Yeah, it's like 1:45, 2 o'clock.
Somewhere around there.
Yes.
Because we were not leaving.
No.
Until we got the word that our little dude was out of surgery, that all was well.
Heart surgery went well.
He's in recovery.
Yep.
The doctor said, as far as from their side, everything went beautifully. Couldn't have went any better.
Right.
Luckily for us, not luckily, it was a blessing because God's hand is in it. But everything they planned and how they planned for it to go went to order.
Right.
Their plan fell in line.
With God's plan.
Right, just as the way it was supposed to. But I go back to that question of, and this is why we're having this question, guys. It's not so much as a way of saying, okay, this is what we're going through. But like always, we've always said this is our therapy session. Mm-hmm. This is really not about you guys. This is really about us.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask you the question, like my wife said, what do you do when you've sat down, you've planned, you've put your all into a situation, and then that curve comes, that unexpected curve comes, that unexpected situation? What do you do?
I think again, I know you're asking that question, but I think again, you have to take a moment when that curveball come. Don't react so quickly. Breathe, and it could be a 1 second, 2 second breathing. 1, 2, 3, but breathe. Don't automatically, because sometimes when a curveball comes, we automatically want to go into defeat. We automatically want to go, well, that didn't work.
Right.
Oh my God, what am I going to do? But I think sometimes just taking a breath and just taking a moment and saying, okay, I think it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where he was saying he had two dads, and one dad was like, I can't afford it. But the rich dad always said, how can I afford it?
Right.
How can I? And I think what
Same
happened,
scenario, two different perspectives.
Yeah, two different perspectives. And I think the perspective that we all need to have now is not that we can't do it or it can't happen. How can we make it happen?
Right.
How it's not going to look regular. It's not going to look normal. Normal was not, we had no business on the top of the roof. People looking at us like we crazy, worshiping and praising God and not really caring at all who saw us. That wasn't the view that we had when he came into, we wanted to be in the room. We wanted to be in the space, but we had to understand that we can still be in the room and that we can still be in the space, because prayer can go where we cannot go. Prayer can go through the concrete wall. Prayer can go through the hallways. Prayers can go into the very room that he's in and do exactly what we were going to do when we were in the building. The same thing with your gifts and dreams. They don't die because you got a curveball. You rest. You take a breath and go, okay, so don't go left. Okay, let me go right.
Because the plan was to be able to hold him minutes old.
Yeah.
Not almost a month old.
Yeah.
Because by the time he finishes recovery, by the time because right now they're saying it can be anywhere from another 5 to 10 days that he may still be in the hospital. At that point, we're looking at almost 3 weeks in the hospital. We're looking at this little dude almost being a month old.
Yeah.
Before we actually able to do anything.
But the great thing about sometimes when that happens, people need to understand when that happens, that delayed but never denied. It gives you an opportunity.
Say that again for the people.
Delayed but not denied. What that allows you to do is finish. If you haven't finished something, or go back and look at it again. And it's just something as funny as for us, because, and I'll make it really simple. We was gun-ho about what we wanted his comforter to look like and everything. We've had the crib and everything. One his comforter to look like, and then out of nowhere, we was like, you know what? He's a warrior because of this. So now we want Lion King.
No, we want Lion King.
We want Lion King. So it gave us an opportunity to switch gears and find something else. And I think that's what happens too. That delay sometimes allows us to see it with a different perspective and allow us to switch gears from what we thought we wanted to taking it to the next level of being even better than what we thought. And I think that's what people need to understand too, that God is not detaining you or delaying you or denying you or any of those things. He's just preparing you for the direction that you're going to go through and go to. It's just going to be a different direction. You know what I'm saying?
Staying with the sports analogy for a moment, one of the things you can do, so you're at bat, you get that curve, it's a strike. You have the opportunity to do what they call a timeout, where you step out of the batter's box, you raise your hand to the pitcher. That signals everyone. That signals the pitcher. That signals the catcher.
Breathe.
That signals the umpire that you're taking a moment. You step out of the batter's box. You're able to regain your composure.
Yes.
Able to strategize a little better. And then once you get your bearings back, you're able to step back in the batter box.
That's right.
And get ready for that next pitch.
Yeah.
And I think what happens a lot of the times is that once we get that curveball, we don't take that opportunity to take a small timeout.
Take a breath.
And because what happens is, and sometimes we get it confused, a timeout is not a concession. I'm sorry, did I say that right? No, is that what I want to say? Not a concession, but to concede. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Because a timeout is not a tag out. It's a difference.
Taking a timeout is not conceding. Taking a timeout is it's stopping, it's regrouping, it's getting your thoughts together. It's getting that second part of your plan together, and then it's stepping back up. But I think what happens is sometimes we fall short, that we get so, I'm going to say this word, I like this word, we get so discombobulated.
I like it.
By that curveball, because even though we knew it was in the arsenal, we didn't plan for it.
Right.
We didn't think we'd see it at that time.
Right.
Because if we're being honest, we knew there was a possibility that he would not be born well. it's a possibility. We're humans. We know that, there's a 50-50 chance that he's born healthy or that he's born with an issue.
And that's what anything in
That's
the
what
world.
anything,
That's
right.
what anything.
That's what I'm saying. So,
your business is either going to succeed or it's going to fail.
Yeah. Anytime starting a business, there's a 50-50 chance that within your first year, you may close your doors or you may go to the second year. That's what a dream, that's what anything.
But let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Here's the thing. Not to cut you off.
No, you cut me off. You cut me off twice and you kept doing it.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay.
Because I have to think about this.
But you can't apologize for cutting somebody off and keep doing it.
I'm
but
sorry.
It's
okay, I'm sorry. I just was thinking about this. But whose definition of success? Right? Whose definition of well are we looking at? And I think that's what we need to understand when we say that. When your doors are closing and and you say the business. Who told you your business wasn't a success or it has to close to regroup? I believe again, a timeout is a timeout. It's not a tap out.
Right.
You're not tapping out. You're timing out. There's a difference, right? And so who says that? What are you? What's what I'm looking for? What is your definition of success, and who are you relating it to or comparing it to when you say that, right? Not you per se, but whomever, or who says what is well and not what is well. You know what I'm saying? So that for me is always the thought process of it. So what is your answer to that? Because
I think what happens is that whether we want to admit it or not, we compare ourselves to. If we're in a business, we compare ourselves to a competitor business or something similar to what we're doing, or even with our kids, we compare ourselves to, somebody else's, so-and-so's kids don't do this or so-and-so kids act this way. Mm-hmm. It's not a good thing, but I think sometimes we do that. And I think that's how we get stuck because we are gearing our success by what society is telling us that success should look like, where there's so many different ways to be successful.
Right.
And I think that's what coming back and stepping out of the batter's box, taking that regrouping, taking that time out, so you can actually see what your success looks like. Not compared to anybody else's, but what your success looks like. So I got a question for you.
And what your strategy is.
Yeah. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So we've kind of we've set the table of what we want to talk about. Even we're 30-something minutes in, but we've set the table. What advice? So you have somebody, let's say we have somebody right now who is going, they just got their curveball and now they're stuck. They don't know how to react to it. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle it. So what would be your advice for that person that's just getting their curveball right now?
Take a breath. The curveball take a breath. I mean, it's the same thing that we've been saying the entire time. You need to take a breath. Take a breath. And then once you take a breath, go back to the notes. Go back to the play. Go back to the strategy that you put out there in the first place. Let me look at this. Okay, so I have this business. This was the strategy because everybody has a blueprint of what they want their business to look like. You understand? And so what can I tweak? Since I can't go this way, can I go this way? It's kind of like what we tell our children all the time. If you want to be a welder or a doctor or a nurse, because everybody think that a nurse is only a nurse one way. In the ER in the hospital. They are traveling nurses. They are nurses that go to people's houses. They are nurses who do it over the computer. They're, on the health line. So there's so many different ways to be a nurse. There's so many different ways to be a teacher. So we get stuck in one way of doing things yeah.
Pause for a second. And I'm sorry. You said that, and that just brought something to my mind real quick. For any essential workers that are part of the family that are listening to us right now.
Thank you.
The doctors, the nurses, the teachers. We want to just stop in the middle of what we're talking about.
Grocery store workers.
Grocery store workers.
Cashiers.
Everyone who
gas pump.
Everyone
who
was classified as essential workers and have been in the midst of this from the beginning been on the front line from the beginning.
Yes.
From the Crenshaw Corner, we just want to humbly thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we just want to express gratitude to you for putting your health at risk. To be honest, because if we're being honest, you put your own health at risk.
And your
family. You put your family's health at risk.
Yes, to take care of people.
You've put individuals that are close to you and around you, you've put them at risk by being available and serving and helping and being there for those who are sick and those who need to pick up some groceries. And you've just been there. We just want to take this time to thank you. And also, if you know a teacher, hug a teacher, please. Mm-hmm. Because right now, if this is shown nothing, you should have a whole new respect for the educational system, for teachers, for what they go through, what they have to deal with, because you're having a problem teaching your own son and you're having a problem teaching your own daughter. So just think, and it's just, you may have 3, 4, you have either 1, 5 kids, whatever, but they have 32 kids at one time in a 45 to 50 minute setting that they're rotating out 6 or 7 times a day. So they're touching over 100 kids a day. Mm-hmm. So when you get a moment, hug a teacher, love a teacher.
Not now.
Well, do a virtual hug to a teacher. Love a teacher. Just because if we don't have anything else coming out of this, nurses, doctors, teachers, we should have a whole new respect for what they bring to the table.
Well, here's the thing. When you say that goes back to what we were talking about before. Curveball. Parents got a curveball.
Oh, yeah, they got a curveball.
Not only one, but now a really true curveball, because North Carolina and I believe South Carolina too are out of school for the rest of the year.
For the remainder of the school year.
And so that's a curveball of having to teach the children on computers now. Get their electronics, get their homework, show them, tutor them, learn. So it was a curveball thrown, but
learning that new math,
but the curveball was thrown. Some parents didn't take a breath and it became so anxious
and overwhelming.
And there was some parents that took a breath and was like, okay, I took a breath. This is my new role. This is my extra role, And so now, here, let's do it. The same thing with all of our essential workers. My God, curveball. This was not expected. This was not something, but they all took a breath and said, send me.
Yeah.
I'll go.
I'll
go. Yeah, send me, I'll go. I'll do it. Same thing with all the supermarkets. Same thing with all the janitors, supermarkets, cashiers, customer service, gas stations. Same thing. They're like, okay, it's a curveball.
Yeah.
I'm wearing gloves. I got to change gloves every 5 minutes. I got to have a mask. I got to still, all those things that they normally do. But now there's been some added, descriptions to what their job description has become. And
because
so
now, in all honesty, their job has become hazardous.
Yeah. So now they take a breath and they reevaluate and they go, okay, what's next? And I think that's what, when what you thought was supposed to be or how it was supposed to go and you thought you had a control of it because you figured, I'm home. Send my baby to school today. Baby will come home. He'll have some homework. I'll call the teachers are teaching from home.
Yeah.
They're tutoring. So there's so many different ways that curveballs have been thrown right now where we need to take a breath.
Teachers are teaching their own kids and yours.
And I had a lady tell me that. I asked her, I said, how are you doing? She said she was a teacher. I said, how are you doing? She said, this is stressful. She said, I'm teaching. Not only I'll have parents calling me all day to help them with their children, but I got a 16-year-old, bless her heart, and a 10-year-old that I still have to do homework with as well.
Right.
So the curveball is thrown, but the goal is don't tap out. Time out, but don't tap out.
Yeah, take that.
Take the time.
Out, but just don't concede.
Don't concede and think out the box. Yeah. I think that's another thing. They wanted to do it the normal way. This is not the normal way. I need you to think out the box. We thought out the box. Nothing was going to stop us. So nothing's going to stop these parents from teaching their children, the fathers and mothers from teaching their children. There's nothing that's going to stop these nurses. They're doing medical, as we know it, is different now.
Always will be.
It always will be different.
From this point,
teaching there will be a level of respect and honor.
Yeah.
There will be a different level of respect how you carry and speak to cashiers now. And those essential workers that's working at the supermarket and the grocery stores and Krispy Kreme, all those places, because they're still essential. Because when you go in there, they're there for you now with a hazard.
I saw something really cool on I was either TikTok or Instagram, one of the socials.
Stay off TikTok, baby.
I'm addicted now.
No.
When it's all said and done, man, I may need a support group.
The devil is a lie. You ain't addicted to nothing.
But
I break that chain. I break the TikTok chain.
I'm just saying.
I'm breaking the TikTok chain.
May I finish my thought? You've been kind of aggressive this entire podcast. You've been cutting me off, not letting me finish.
I'm just saying I'm trying to break that
but
TikTok.
Can I finish my thought? Because I was trying to say something sweet, and then you just go left.
Go ahead,
like
be
you
sweet.
Always do.
I'm improvising. Go ahead.
One of the things I saw, it was a neighborhood where it was one young lady in the neighborhood was a nurse, and she worked the night shift. And on her way out to work, her entire neighborhood came out and gave her a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And of course she broke down crying because it was a sweet moment, but everyone in that neighborhood came out
so beautiful
and stood in their yards and cheered her on and gave her a standing ovation and just showed her that they appreciated her for what she's doing.
Yeah.
And my prayer is that when this is all over and we go back to quote unquote a sense of normalcy, that things like that are not lost, that we understand that. And you said this to me before. I don't know if we've ever said it on a podcast, but individuals like nurses, like doctors, if we're not careful, they're going to have PTSD after this entire situation is done because they're seeing the worst of it. Thinking of the doctors and nurses and the people in EMTs in New York and what they're seeing and what they've been through and what they've had to experience. When we get back to quote unquote normal life, let's not forget them. Let's not forget what they've been through, what they've seen, what they've had to experience. The love that we're having for them now, let's make sure it's just not a temporary thing. That when this is all said and done, we're still showing these essential workers, we're still showing them love, we're still caring about them. And that when this is all said and done and it turns around, that the way they're there for us, we then turn around and be there for them. Because when this is all said and done, they're going to need us.
Yeah, and we're gonna need each other. And I think that, again, just knowing that when the curveball come, to be able to take a breath and be strategic.
Yeah.
And then be able to switch gears. Don't stay in one gear. And I think that's what everybody in the world has showed right now. Even with TikTok, even with you watching TikTok, even with the grocery stores, even with people buying cars. I don't know what that's about, but everything that we do right now is the switching of the gears.
Yeah.
It's the switching of the gears. It's like we don't have any control of how to do this now. So we got to find out how can we do it and make it beneficial.
Yeah, because
you know,
at this
and
point,
that's
the
the
entire
truth.
world was thrown a curveball.
It was thrown a curveball.
Got a question.
Yeah.
Curious. Okay, so here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Cool. This is not related to anything we just talked about.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because I'm curious.
Okay.
Because talking and you said some things and I've said some things and we both said some things and it's got my mind thinking, and you know I'm a huge fan of yours, and I think I'm a huge fan of yours. I am your rah-rah sis kumbaya, you know that.
Thank you.
But I'm curious about something. What's your spirit animal?
Okay. Now, we normally don't discuss anything before we do this, people. But coming back from the hospital, he asked me that question.
I did.
And I told him I wasn't answering him then.
She did, but I feel like if I put her on the spot.
So you feel like, because we in front of the family.
Yeah, I figure if I put you on the spot.
I don't.
Yeah. Come on. What's your spirit animal?
I don't have a spirit animal.
You got a spirit animal. Come on, man.
I don't.
You got one. Come on, man.
I don't.
Everybody has a spirit
It's
animal.
an owl.
Why is it an owl?
It's always been an owl.
Why is it an owl?
I like the owl. I like the way the owl handles himself at nighttime. I like the way the owl watches everything on high. I like the way, the owl is always the bird of wisdom, basically.
Right.
I like that, and you should know that because I have an owl table. My
You do?
table is an owl.
It is.
I just think that it's the owl. The way, the owl's not deep and complicated. Of course, most people want to be the eagle, whatever. I don't know. I just like the owl. The owl's not a complicated bird. It's a big bird. It's a vicious bird if you make him.
Yeah.
But you have to make him. He's not gonna be vicious.
No.
No.
Owls are predatory by nature. They're predators.
But he not bothering nobody. I would just ain't rolling up on you, Sanchez. And them daggone pigeons. In New York, they rolling up on.
Pigeon roll up on you.
A regular bird or a cardinal will roll up on you and just roll up on your daggone patio. Bro, what you doing here? Owl ain't doing that.
Right.
Owl ain't even got that much time. He ain't even thinking about you that hard. I like the owl.
You like the owl?
Yeah, you were determined, but I told you I didn't want to.
No, I wanted to know. I wanted to know what your spirit animal was. I was curious. I mean, I kind of had an idea. I know you've always talked about owls, but I wanted to hear you say it. That's cool.
Nighttime people.
Nighttime, them nocturnals.
Nighttime people.
I was thinking more so because the owl can turn his head 360 degrees and you always looking at everything because you nosy.
Was we calling that nosy though?
Yeah, I'm thinking nosy.
I don't feel like it's nosy. I think that I'm being informed.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, I like informed. I'm being informed, people.
Rosanna Donna?
No.
Know everything that's going on the
block?
block?
Go ahead, because I guess you want to. What's your spirit animal, baby? I already know it's a wolf, but go ahead.
Actually, okay. Before I answer that, why would you say wolf?
I believe it was always a wolf.
Why?
Just a leader of a pack, not a pack of people, but a leader, resourceful, be able to get the job done, strong, resilient, no matter the weather, whatever. You give a wolf something to do, he's going to carry it out to territorial. Also, the capability to take care of what belongs to him, his family.
Right.
I mean, do I need to go on?
I mean,
Now, if you say something like a pigeon, I'm just going to bust you in the head, but go ahead.
why does it always got to be so?
Okay, go ahead.
Family.
Baby, what's your spirit animal?
Family. Send help.
I'm
I keep trying to
tired.
tell y'all,
I'm
family.
tired, guys.
Family,
I'm
I keep trying to
tired.
tell y'all, she beat me with sleep.
I'm not beating you. Baby, what's your spirit animal?
No, it's a wolf.
I know it is.
It's a
I
wolf.
know it's a wolf. But why? Why is it a wolf?
For me, first of all, I've always been.
Because you grow hair?
No,
Your
that's part
head
of it.
Face like a wolf?
That's not it. That's not it. Even though my hair
just
grows, it does grow quickly. Like I always tell people I'm part wolf because my hair grows so quickly.
It does grow quickly, people.
But no, it's everything you said. Mm-hmm. But it's also the strength of a wolf. Mm-hmm. A wolf will die to protect what's his. Mm-hmm. A wolf will. The only thing that matters to a wolf is his pack. Mm-hmm. Especially if he's the quote unquote leader of that pack. Mm-hmm. He's going to protect the weaker members of the pack. He's going to risk his life. He's the first one in. He leads from the front. Actually, I take that back.
Actually, don't they lead from the back?
I take that back. You're right. Mm-hmm. Because a wolf pack, the way you can see who's the leader, the leader is actually in the back. Mm-hmm. And he's there. He's pulling up the back end to protect. Mm-hmm. So if there's anything coming if there's any danger coming to try to take the flank or to try to attack from the rear, mm-hmm. the leader of the pack is there to protect. Also, it's just they're beautiful. They're you think you know about a wolf, but you really don't. I mean, as much as we think we know about animals, there's still a lot about a wolf that is still kind of mysterious.
Okay.
How they operate, how they move. It's just so much about a wolf. But yeah, at the end of the day, long story short, a wolf is my spirit
We would
animal.
never be together if we were spirit animals. How Owl and a wolf gonna get together, bro?
And that's another reason too. You know, I'm just joking.
Let's think it through.
I'm saying though. I'm saying
no, but no. I hope I answered your question because
Nah, you
you know
did.
sometimes we go down a rabbit hole.
That's not sometimes. We always go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. We do it well. Well, I think we've talked enough.
You think we talked enough?
Yeah, I think
we some
did.
tired people, babe. People, we family. We tired.
Yeah.
We are exhausted today. But let me say this to you. Just one thing.
Just say it into the mic though.
I'm saying it into the mic. My mic sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check two. Our grandbaby
Is here.
is here. He's amazing. He's well. Surgery went absolutely well.
Absolutely beautiful.
And I just want to give a shout out because a lot of our listeners, our family, is on that we reached out to.
Yes.
Listen to this podcast.
Yes.
And before we go, we want to say thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for loving us.
Yeah.
Thank you for loving our grandson.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the time to
Yes.
reach out to us, to check in on us, to
Yes.
stop what you were doing, to
Yeah.
pray.
To pray.
For our grandson.
Yeah.
Thank you for the positive energy. Thank you for the positive vibes. Thank you because no one said anything negative. No one said nothing. It was just, what do you need? What do you need from us? What can we do? We're standing in the gap with you. We're interceding for you.
Yes.
And so just family, just thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yes.
That means so much
to us.
Because right now in a environment or in a society where all you're being told is to social distance. Mm-hmm. All you're being told is to stay as far away from people as you possibly can. We've had a village surround us.
Yeah.
We've had a village surround us in love, and text messages and emails and phone calls, and
video calls
and group chats
and video. I mean, some of y'all was leaving voice videos praying. My God.
Yeah, we have
God.
this one wonderful couple that is absolutely amazing. I'm still waiting for the husband's mixtape. I keep telling them I need that. But the moment that they heard what was going on with our grandson, they didn't hesitate. They called us and left us a voice memo prayer.
Yeah.
And it meant the world to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just thank you, family.
We thank you, guys.
We just thank you for being there for us. We thank you for loving us. We thank you. We just thank you.
We just thank you. And what we hope that you've learned, we don't know because we don't even know. We just be out here talking, y'all. We just be out here talking.
Yeah, we
don't know if you're going to learn anything
sense.
in that. But what I hope that you did take that is when a curveball does come, take a time out. Don't tap out. That's number one. Number two is be creative. Think out the box. Look at it from another perspective. And that's another thing I want to say before we go. When you stop and take a breather, you can look at it with fresh eyes.
You can.
Look at it. One thing God has always been telling me for a while now is go look at that situation again. Go look at what's going on again. Go feel it again. Go sense it again. Go look at it again. And then take it from the new perspective from that point of view. And because there's no way that it cannot be done. It just may not be done the way you thought it was going to be done. So that's my final thought on it.
And actually, I think that's a beautiful way to end.
Yeah.
I can't add anything to that. That was magnificent. Family, just thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for being along this journey with us.
Thank you.
As always, we are an interactive podcast.
Yes, we are.
We are on the socials. We're on Twitter.
Kill me with the socials.
Facebook. We're on Instagram, all under Crenshaw Corner.
Did you have to think about that?
I did for a moment.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we have an email address, Crenshaw
Corner
at gmail.com. Crenshaw Corner at gmail.com. And family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.